We've got those key locations covered. Laura Jays at the Harris HQ in Washington, Ross Greenwood in New York, Annalise Nielsen in Washington. Laura, first to you. The magic number, 270 electoral college votes. Will Harris get there?
Well, there's a couple of pathways, and some of them a little bit more difficult than others. We will see, as Andrew mentioned, the East Coast come in first, but two crucial seats we'll be looking at, and that is Georgia and North Carolina. We should see results there for about 7 or 8 p.m. Local time, and you would expect that the early voting numbers there would break the Democrats' way. That should be how it is early. It doesn't mean that they're going to get up in those seats, but if the Democrats are breaking early in those two seats, that's about status quo. If you're looking at those two seats and Florida, and it is overwhelming a Trump vote early, well, that looks like it gets very difficult for Harris. Then you've got to look to the blue wall, and then, you know, the Sun Belt states as well. But let me just paint the picture for you here. You have never seen so many journalists and media crew in your life, and this is probably about 6 hours before we will even see Kamala Harris. We're talking about hundreds of crews here at Howard Smith University. This is an historic event for her. It's an historic location as well. She is Howard Smith University alumni. And before we even get to the massive amounts of security, as you can imagine, Kieran, this is the stage that is set behind her. Behind me, I should say, where she will be. It's very similar to what we saw in Pennsylvania yesterday. There's the bulletproof glass in front, and there are a lot of American flags behind her. Today, Kamala Harris, she didn't vote because she voted early, but what she did do is turn up in a surprise visit to a phone bank, and she started making calls to Democrats and people, encouraging them to get out and vote. It's been really interesting to travel through some of these swing states, as you know, KG, over the last week, and it is really tight. We went to a place called Dearborn in Michigan just a couple of days ago. This is normally a Democratic stronghold, but the thing that's changed between now and the last election is the Gaza war has broken out, and Dearborn has the highest settlement of Arabs in America. There is evidence at polling booths that these voters have not been breaking the Democrat way. So a lot of those voters have been going to Trump, and that's just one example in a crucial place like Michigan, where it might not just go the Democrats' way. We've been talking about the female vote as well. Will the young women turn out for Kamala in places like Pennsylvania? It is so tight, and it's really hard to even gauge on the ground. The polls show exactly the sentiment that we've been picking up for the last week in those swing states, KG.